In my youth, I helped support an impoverished student. Yet, just as we were preparing to marry, he conspired with my best friend to deceive me. I stood there and watched them sell the antiques I'd restored, pocketing every penny. I had nowhere left to turn. That's when Oliver showed up. He traded his mother's heirloom to get me back from Camille. Oliver said, just give him time. He'd put Liam and the others away where they belonged. I bought it. For 5 years. First time I worked up the nerve to leave the house, I heard him talking to his assistant.
Mr. Oliver, Ms. Nora's treatment just started working. You can't pull her off the medication now.
Maybe that's for the best. If she gets better, she'll go after Liam. Camille's married to him now. I can't let her get hurt.
Oliver thought.
5 years. She's been happy. I don't want to watch them tear each other apart.
Oliver scrolled through his phone. Camille had posted a 9-photo spread celebrating her 5th wedding anniversary. He looked at every single one, then raised his head and said,
And Nora, I'll take care of her for the rest of her life. I'll make it up to her.
The assistant let out a bitter laugh.
Back then, you traded your mother's heirloom to save her. Now you're trading her sanity for Camille's so-called happiness?
Oliver shook his head with a sad smile.
There were reasons. I'll explain it to Nora someday.
The secretary advised.
But you can't just hand over all her antiques to them for safekeeping. That's against protocol.
It's complicated. I'll sort it out later. Just focus on taking care of Nora.
The only people Nora sees are you and me.
I was hiding around the corner, shaking so bad I had to hold on to the wall. Could barely stand. Today was the first time I'd left that house. I snuck out behind Oliver's back, came to his office. Wanted to surprise him. I'd rehearsed what I'd say when I saw him 100 times. Raised my hand to knock, all excited, and then I heard it. The people who destroyed me, no punishment at all. They even had this big fancy wedding 5 years ago. And me? I spent 5 years being treated for mental illness, while they bled me dry. Those antiques they took, I'd restored most of them with my own hands. They were selling off everything I'd poured my heart into. And I was just living in this beautiful dream Oliver had built for me. What a joke. I stumbled out of that building like a ghost, fell down the stairs, so I just sat there on the steps. Stared at the traffic for a long time. So long that Oliver was standing right in front of me before I even noticed. He looked surprised. Then his eyes landed on my swollen ankle, and he got all worried, scooped me up in his arms.
So this was your surprise? Why didn't you come find me?
Too many people inside. Thought I'd just wait for you out here.
Don't push yourself. Just stay home and wait for me like a good girl.
He set me down gently in the car, eyes full of tenderness. Then, without me even noticing, he slipped a ring onto my finger.
Marry me, Nora. I'll take care of you, love you for the rest of my life.
The love in his eyes burnt so bright, almost like he meant it. Oliver got in the driver's seat. Wind whipped against my face.
You and Camille used to be close. They're doing a vow renewal for their 5th anniversary. Want to go together? You've been friends since childhood, your childhood sweethearts. Any misunderstandings can simply be cleared up. Besides, didn't you say you wanted to get married on the same day?
Whatever you think is best. 5 years. It's all in the past.
Leave it to your husband. Nora just needs to be the most beautiful bride. You've been friends since childhood, your childhood sweethearts. Any misunderstandings can simply be cleared up. Besides, didn't you say you wanted to get married on the same day?
Whatever you think is best.
When we got home, I went to his scuddier, the one he never let me go into alone. Soon as I walked in, I saw it. A camera, right out in the open. These were from college. Oliver took them. Of Camille. And he'd kept them all this time. I put the camera back, opened his computer. Even the coming of age my parents gave me, he'd given that to Camille too. All that time, Oliver was taking such good care of me. I thought he was giving me love, companionship. Turns out I was just her ATM. All those times he went overseas, risked danger to photograph antiques for me, hunted down expensive broken pieces for me to restore. It was all for Camille. That was my inheritance from my parents. Kept in the dark, and I was actually happy about it. To them, I must have been the biggest joke. Clowning around without even knowing it. Pulled out my phone. Didn't hesitate. Bought a cruise ship. 3 days from now. Our double wedding. That's the day I'd run. Leave it all behind. Say goodbye to these 5 years. A voice from behind the door. Oliver, confused.
Nora?
I panicked, pulled the USB drive out of my computer, shut it down, and walked out of the room.
Hey. You bought a cruise ship?
For the honeymoon, after the wedding.
I know you want to experience the maritime Silk Road. Your husband will go with you himself.
He took my hand and pressed it against his chest, guiding me to feel inside. Oliver pulled a ring out from the inner pocket of his coat and held it right over his heart.
I told you, closest to the heart.
Isn't it cold?
Body heat warms it up.
That was always his thing. When he wanted to sweet talk someone, he made you believe he really loved you.
I don't feel good.
The mood died right there.
Want me to call the doctor?
No, just need some rest.
I left Oliver standing there, didn't look back. 5 years ago, their lies and betrayal destroyed me. I wasn't even a person anymore. Friends and family didn't care I'd vanished. Said I was just throwing a rich girl tantrum because my parents died, obsessed with some old junk. Then Oliver came, like a god descending from heaven, saved me. And now, he's the one who shattered every dream I had left. I couldn't stop shaking. Had to breathe deep, just to keep it together. After they left, I gave the legal equity a bitter smile. I know about the acquisition. Please keep this quiet. She nodded. I thanked her and left. What I didn't know, Oliver's assistant saw me leaving. When the assistant brought contracts to Oliver's office, he asked casually,
Sir, did Mrs. come by the company?
Oliver was caught off guard.
When? Why wasn't I told?
The assistant swallowed hard, hesitated.
I saw someone who looked a lot like her. Just now.
Oliver's face dropped. You could see the storm coming. Camille stepped in with a smile.
Perhaps it's just a resemblance. Isn't Nora suffering from depression and afraid to go out? How could it be her?
That seemed to calm him down. Next morning, soon as Oliver left, I slipped out of the house without a sound. Before I left, I had to deal with my parents' company. The one they left me. When I arrived at the Coat Group, I went straight to the company's legal department, only to be told that the company had already been acquired. Oliver signed the papers, on my behalf. After he saved me, I was a mess. Severe mental issues. Gave Oliver full control of everything. But who would have thought that, due to poor management, he actually sold the Coat Group to Liam? I went to Oliver's office. Was about to push the door open when I heard Camille's voice. Instinct made me turn away. Oliver, if I come to your wedding, Nora won't get mad, will she?
Long as you behave at the wedding, she won't.
Boss's lady, please have some tea.
Smooth.
Now that Liam has taken over the Coat Group, she's the boss, isn't she? Oliver looked a little annoyed, but he kept his mouth shut.
Back then you were young, didn't know better. I let it slide. But now Nora's your sister-in-law. You can't act like you used to.
I understand, Oliver. Nora and I have been childhood sweethearts, and now that she's ill, I'll make sure to look after her properly.
She was the one who broke me. And now she's playing the saint.
Still, I'm a little worried. Oliver, maybe you should call and check?
Oliver nodded slightly, dialed my number.
Have you come to the Coat Group?
Yes.
Camille and I were discussing the wedding. Why didn't you come find me?
He sounded all hurt and whiny. I laughed inside. Was faking being in love with me for 5 years not enough for you? I had nothing left. And he was still acting. Just wanted to check on my parents' company. You guys are busy. I'll go home and wait for you.
There's a dinner tomorrow. Liam and Camille will be there. I'll take you to see them before the wedding.
All right, I'll be there.
Liam hosted this dinner to celebrate the acquisition of the Coat Group. Every move he made was for Camille's benefit. He took me along simply to lend legitimacy to Liam's takeover of the Coat Group. Cold sweat broke out on my skin. The wind hit me, and I felt it down to my bones. Oliver didn't come home that night, but Camille's social media updated right on schedule. A video, the ocean at night, waves rolling in the dark, deep, mysterious, and a figure next to her, blurry. But I knew it was Oliver. Finally decided where to go for the honeymoon. My fingers flew across the keyboard. Then I hesitated, finger hovering over send. I wanted to bet that Oliver remembered I wanted to experience the maritime Silk Road. Hope won out over fear. I replied to the message Oliver had sent asking where I wanted to go for our honeymoon. Oliver sent a voice message right away. Clear laugh.
Whatever my baby wife says.
His voice trailed up the end. That's how you knew he was happy. Of course Oliver was happy. Camille and I wanted the same thing. But he was so happy he forgot. I hate the cold. Also forgot that yesterday he promised to take me sailing. Time slowly slips away on the phone. I closed my eyes tight, turned off the screen. Next day, I waited for Oliver to send someone with my dress. Didn't even notice until the car pulled up outside. Oliver forgot me. 5 years out of the world, I couldn't do the fake smiles and small talk. Went out to the balcony. Inside, drinks clinked and people schmoozied. Oliver worked the room. Didn't care where I went. Inside, it was all drunken luxury and glamour. While outside, only the lonely moonlight lingered. Camille followed me out, leaning against the balcony. She was a completely different person, looking at me triumphantly. All these years, still useless. Had a man handed to you, and you couldn't keep him. The company I stole from you. And now your future husband? He's only marrying you because me.
Miss Nora, you really are a pitiable sight. Nora, you've got nothing left. Get away from me.
She stepped back on purpose, stumbled, almost fell. Instinct made me reach for her. Then something slammed into me from behind. Oliver rushed over, grabbed her arm, pulled her back just in time.
You're having another episode. I'll have someone take you home.
Guests pointed fingers, whispered. I just stood there, no expression, watched the circus like it had nothing to do with me. And what about what they did to me back then? They should go to jail, right? Camille looked like someone hit her, went limp in Oliver's arms, tears streaming down her face, silent. She said,
Don't blame Nora. Back then I was young and stupid. It makes sense she hates me. Let's just leave it here. Consider it payback for what happened. I wronged Nora. Camille got all the good lines. And I was the crazy one. Oliver carried Camille out, left me standing there. The party ended early. Still had time. On a whim, I decided to go to the hospital, get a second opinion. Stayed in that house too long. Wasn't used to being outside. Got turned around. Ended up in gynecology. I looked around, confused. Decided to ask the woman in front of me for directions. Just as I got close, I saw her, taking a pill from a box. A box I knew. I waited for her to finish before asking. Then it hit me, like lightning.
Excuse me, can I see that medicine? The woman looked at me strange, then handed it over. My hands shook. I read every word. Then I saw it. A line I'd never noticed before. Side effects of overdose, infertility, and I took 2 every time. I held that pill so tight. Handed the box back. Thanks.
I tried to walk away calm, but the breakdown hit me like a wave. I laughed. Couldn't stop. Laughing and crying at the same time. Tears streaming. Left that hospital like a crazy person.
I wanted a baby once. When I was at my lowest, I begged Oliver, give me a child.
Nora, you're not well enough to have a baby. Let's wait until you're stable, okay?
I thought he meant once I got better, we could try. So I cooperated, did the treatments. Then the doctor told me, the illness, the treatments, I'd probably never have kids.
I blamed myself, tortured myself. Why did I have to go crazy? And Oliver was right there, always soothing me, never stopped.
I didn't find out until later. Oliver was worried, thought if I got pregnant while unstable, it'd be too much. So he talked to the doctor behind my back, put me on meds that were too strong, never told me the truth. He just wanted me to get better first, then we'd think about kids. Never thought the meds and the illness together would take that choice away from me.
He held me and broke down crying. Said he was just trying to protect me. Never meant for this to happen.
On the way home, no lights around the villa. I got to the door. Then the sky exploded. Fireworks. Colors everywhere. I turned and watched the whole city light up. My phone buzzed. A message from Oliver. I knew. The fireworks. Oliver set them off for Camellia. The whole city was noise, and I was silence. Time to go. I waited in that villa, night to day to night. Oliver never came.
To cheer Camille up, Oliver even gave her a private jet as a wedding gift.
People said, Oliver and Camille's love story. If we can't be together, we'll marry on the same day. That way, he still kind of marries you. But today was supposed to be mine and Oliver's wedding. The calls kept coming, everyone asking if I was ready. I told them all yes, almost ready. But my groom, he never asked. Tears fell without a sound. I took the scissors and cut my wedding dress to pieces. Just me in that house. Watched the candles burn down. Mailed the divorce papers to the wedding venue. Before I left, I took nothing. Everything that was mine, the clock on my phone hit 0. I got on the cruise ship, right on time. The moment the ship set sail, Oliver finally remembered me, called to ask if I was ready.
Don't be mad about the other day. Today, Nora's going to be my bride. Smile for
I
me.
hung up the phone and saw Camille's post.
The video shows the wedding ceremony, with Oliver appearing on screen to place that priceless crown upon her head. I stared at all the congratulations. Then I deleted every account. The bracelet on my wrist was a gift from Oliver. He told me it is a family heirloom, passed down through the Oliver family. This is a bracelet of the finest quality, yet the person is not a good one. Yet I did not hesitate. I plucked it off and threw it into the sea. Back at the wedding, the screens suddenly changed, started playing videos, years of contracts, Oliver and Camille, transferring my antiques, for free. Oliver's eyes went dark. He dialed me without thinking. The assistant rushed in, holding the divorce papers. He said,
Mr. Oliver, she's gone. The villa, shredded wedding dress everywhere. Can't reach her. Only this, the papers. She signed them.
Oliver in his white suit froze for a second. The video stopped. He stared blankly, took the papers, written clean and clear. He could almost see me, signing my name, careful, determined.
No, she's got nowhere else to go. Just me. She bought a cruise ship. I checked. It just set sail. I think she's on it.
It took Oliver a minute.
Check the villa, make sure she's not there. Then find that ship, whatever it takes. Find her. Get me a car, I'm going back to the villa.
He started to leave. Camille grabbed his arm. Today, she was wearing a white pearl wedding dress. She looked absolutely stunning. Camille tried to keep him.
Finish the wedding first, then go.
Nora's gone. I need to make sure she's safe.
Camille held on tighter.
Nora's not stupid. She didn't get lost. She's probably on her way here. Look at all these guests. I can't handle them alone. Oliver, please help me.
Oliver relaxed a little. Then he remembered. My number was dead. The worry came right back. He gripped the papers, face like stone. They struggled. Camille caught a glimpse. The papers. Triumph flickered in her eyes. Then she gasped, loud enough for everyone. Nora's divorcing you? Oliver's face went cold. He looked at Camille, something dark in his eyes. First time he saw her, really saw her.
The girl in front of him, not the one who used to follow him around, calling him brother, needing his protection.
All these years, Camille's little performances. He'd seen them 100 times. Only now did he get it.
What happens between me and Naya is none of your business. And those guests, your husband should be hosting them, not me.
Camille didn't give up. Tried again, but Oliver didn't let her. Shook her off.
Walked out, thought it never crossed his mind, the woman who depended on him, that she might leave. I was so fragile, so broken. He'd held me for 5 years. His whole life revolved around me. Now I was gone. He never thought, not knowing where I was, could hit him this hard. Oliver drove like a madman. Headed home. One hand on the wheel, pedal to the floor, daring death on the road. Other hand scrolling. Every account I had, all gone. This user has closed their account. Even my ID, untraceable. It hit Oliver then. Really hit him. He couldn't find me. Back at the villa. Silence. He saw the burnt down candles, the shredded wedding dress. He sank to the floor.
The villa was empty. Everything still there. Everything we had. Lost in the wreckage. He felt hollow, like something was missing. A part of him. I left clean, left it all behind. He couldn't even find me.
The assistant came up beside him, lit a cigarette, took a long drag. He said,
About the meds. I warned you. Don't trade one thing for another. But you had to have it your way.
Oliver looked up, eyes full of doubt.
How could she know? Only you and me.
The assistant shook his head. Disappointed.
Yesterday, she went to the hospital. Left crying and laughing.
After her diagnosis. You wanted to avoid complications, so you pushed too hard. Aggressive treatment. She took those pills for 5 years. Of course she recognized them.
It's the best thing. For both of you.
Oliver stared into the dark night, eyes burning.
I'll find her. Whatever it costs, I'll pay for it.
What if she wants Camille in jail? You kept her locked up for 5 years over this. How's that different from what they did to her? You lied to her. From start to finish. And now you play the tragic lover? She didn't call the cops. That's her giving you a pass. Let her go. She doesn't belong to anyone.
Oliver held his head, curled up against the car, in pain.
I'd been at sea for a while. Got a message from my mentor. Went back and forth. Decided to go to Europe first.
After I got off the ship, my former mentor Luke was there to pick me up.
Long time, Nora.
Have you been?
Good. Mentor keeps talking about poaching you. Make you our star. But your husband always said no. Your mental state, you know?
Yeah, I was really not in a good place back then. I'd been through some stuff.
But Oliver's real reason? He was scared I'd get out from under him.
When my parents passed away unexpectedly, I decided to return to China to take charge of the Kotu group. My mentor didn't want to see me buried in paperwork. Begged me to stay. Luke walked me out of the airport. I kept my head down, thinking, how do I explain? I said I'd be back in 6 months. It's been 5 years. Then, pop, pop, pop. I jerked up, looked around, and there they were, my old classmates, party poppers in hand, welcoming me home. My eyes burned. Before I came, I was scared. Europe would be hard, starting over, but they treated me like nothing changed. Luke produced flowers from somewhere.
Welcome home.
I took the bouquet, Gloriana Lillis, brave and bright, wiped my tears.
I'm back.
Cry if you need to. Then I'll take you to the mentor. He's waiting.
Let's go.
He didn't mind, led the whole crowd to a nice apartment building.
There were several people standing behind me. I was at the front, and Luke was standing to my left. I hesitated and didn't dare to knock on the door.
You gonna make an old man come get you?
Luke opened the door, pushed me inside.
We stared at each other. That strict old man. He wiped his eyes. I lost it. Hugged him and sobbed.
I told my teacher everything that had happened. He vehemently criticized Oliver and Camille and found many authoritative mental health experts for me. I have a job and a new social circle.
These are things I used to love. I feel like a bird that has been set free. I feel incredibly happy.
But Oliver, he wasn't doing so well. Didn't look for news about him. But the algorithm found me. The headline reads, "Childhood sweetheart turns out to be a sworn enemy." Surprised, I clicked .old feuds. Right there. Oliver and Camille. Family enemies.
Oliver came out with the truth. Camille's father, a business dispute.
He drove Oliver's mother to her death. Oliver just found out.
The internet exploded. Some people said it was hot. The drama, the tension. I didn't get Oliver anymore. 5 years. He gave her everything. My antiques, my company, kept me locked up. And now this? I never cared if Camille was his enemy or his lover. I cared about the lies. As a result of this, his company's share price plummeted, and the Oliver Group was losing money by the minute. But he left the company to his assistant. Spent all his time looking for me. Put out a huge reward. It was crazy. But I didn't care. Moved on. Those days, I lost myself in antiques. Found my footing again. My mentor joked. He was grooming me to take over. I laughed it off. Then one day, I opened the door, heading to work. And then there he was. He looked like hell. Oliver was squatting by my door, eyes bloodshot, unshaven, wrecked. When he saw me, something lit up in his eyes. He stood up slow, voice rough.
Nora.
I watched him cold. He stumbled towards me. I stepped back. Oliver's eyes were full of regret, pain. He said,
Nora, I was wrong. Camille, I helped her because I didn't know about my mother. Her father, on his deathbed, asked me to take care of her.
He fumbled in his pocket, pulled out a USB, scared I'd shut the door. He went on to say,
This is everything. Years of their crimes. I've been working day and night, enough to put Camille and Liam away for life. Nora, please, forgive me. Give me one more chance. I'll make it right. I swear.
Tears and snot. I reached out, took the USB. Hope flickered in his eyes. Then I knocked it out of his hand. The whole time, he was just building a cage for me.
But then what do you call transferring my assets?
You think you can get back the antiques I spent every single day and night restoring? My child. I'll never be a mother now.
My voice was ice. Every word a knife, stabbing into Oliver.
I know. I lied. I broke my promise. Please. One more chance, Nora. The company. I'll get it back. The antiques, whatever it takes. A child we can adopt. I'll get a Vaxaby. A family. The three of us. We'll be happy.
I pulled back, disgusted. Tried to shake him off. He held on tighter, desperate, gripping my shoulders, begging.
Nora, the Maritime Silk Road. You wanted to go. After I send them away. The three of us. You, me, the baby. Isn't that what you always wanted?
Get away from me!
He didn't move. Then Luke. He lives next door. He ran over, pulled Oliver off.
You okay, Nora?
I shook my head.
He saw how pale I was. His eyes went hard when he looked at Oliver. Oliver glared at him, full of hate.
Who the hell are you? Get your hands off Nora!
I'm Nora's classmate.
Luke raised an eyebrow.
Nora loves me. This is between us. None of your business.
Luke almost laughed, shook his head, looked at me.
Nora, this guy's lost it. Go inside. I'll handle this.
I hesitated. Luke nudged me. I went in. Luke smiled, closed the door behind me. After a long while, Luke pushed the door open. He looked like a victor, in stark contrast to Oliver's miserable state. Oliver waited stubbornly at the door, bruised all over. In the end, his secretary, who had run over from abroad, took him away. Before he left, I can get revenge on my own. After Oliver left, I said to Luke, "Thank you."
What's your plan?
I looked at the sky. So blue. I need to go back, just for a few days.
Okay. I'll come with you.
We told the mentor we were taking a break. Slipped back home.
Back home. Luke and I hit every police station, every court. I've reported the Camille group, the Liam group, and the Oliver group one after the other. The evidence, their fraud, their schemes. I kept it for 5 years, finally used it. First to find me is Liam. Didn't see that coming.
Nora, back then, Camille tricked me. I was always insecure. Thought I wasn't good enough for you. Camille got in my head. I was an idiot. I never wanted to hurt you. It was all her. I just wanted to prove myself, be worthy of you. All these years, I've regretted it every day. Please forgive me. I'll make it up to you.
I said nothing. Liam, the poor student I helped when I was young, he stayed with the company after graduation. He was good, so I pretend to get engaged to him, to stabilize things. Didn't see the wolf underneath. Luke threw him out. Oliver didn't show. Then court. He came, brought a stack of evidence, testified for me. Liam's company, built on my back, it fell.
It was over. I went back to Europe. 3 months later, my London studio was running smooth.
6 a.m. I woke up. The Thames outside my window, gray-blue, like an uncut gem. Out of habit, I ran my fingers over the fragments of the bracelet on the bedside table. It was the only thing I'd brought back from home, tucked away in a velvet box and locked in the very back of the drawer.
Nora, morning meeting. You'll be late.
Coming.
We have an important client today.
He said. He handed me the cup and continued.
Someone from Sotheby's would like you to restore a batch of items salvaged from a shipwreck.
I took the cup. My fingers brushed his cold hand. 6 months. He'd kept this distance. Close enough to warm. Far enough to breathe.
Why me?
He smiled, his ever-bright eyes crinkling into a lovely curve as he replied.
Because you're Nora. And because only you can bring those broken things back to life.
I sipped the hot chocolate, sweet warmth all the way down. 6 months. I'd restored so much. Never touched that velvet box.
Some cracks can't be fixed. Sotheby's jewelry turned out way trickier than I thought.
It was a collection of jewels that had lain undisturbed on the seabed for 400 years. Corroded by salt and encrusted with coral, most of them were now unrecognizable.
The client, anonymous, wanted them done in 3 months for the fall auction.
My teacher, that stern, old-fashioned little man, frowned after examining the samples and said, I very so dod is meet both to bite us.
There's something fishy about the origin of this batch. Looting, most likely.
The studio went dead quiet. Luke stood beside him.
Turn it down?
No, we restore, but no auction. My mentor raised an eyebrow, said nothing. Luke smiled, something in it I couldn't read.
You've changed, Nora.
I didn't answer. 6 months. I'd learned not to explain. Oliver taught me that. Words are cheap. 2nd week of work, I got a letter, handwritten. The envelope bore familiar English handwriting, the characters so neat they bordered to the rigid. I did not open it straight away, but placed it on the workbench and continued cleaning a piece of exquisite jewelry. Luke appeared behind me.
Not going to read it?
I know who it's from.
Oliver?
No, Liam. Luke didn't push. 6 months. He'd learned. When I mentioned those names, he stayed quiet. Not avoidance. Respect. The letter was shorter than I'd expected. Nora, those items were a gift from me. I know you won't accept my apology, but at least let me make amends in this way. They should have been yours, the girl who spent the whole day in the repair room. I folded the letter. Lit a match.
You sure?
What he owes me isn't material things. What he owes me is trust, loyalty, and the conscience that any decent person should possess. These things cannot be burned away, nor can they be mended.
Nora, ever think that hating someone is exhausting?
I don't hate him. I just don't believe him anymore. That's different. London's rainy season came. My work got harder. The piece of jewelry had a notch in it, shaped like a crescent moon. I tried 17 fillers. All of them looked like lies.
You're chasing perfection. But restoration isn't about hiding the cracks. It's about making them part of the story.
I put down my tools, looked at the rain. The Thames is a gray ribbon. Tower Bridge barely there. Mentor, do you regret it? Letting me go back then? The old man fell silent for a long while. Rain filled the room, murmuring like some ancient soliloquy.
I regret not telling you before you left. Restoration is like life. It's not about making things the way they were. It's about accepting what they are now and deciding, keep the cracks or start over.
That evening, I didn't return to my flat. I stayed in the studio until dawn and eventually repaired the crack using the kintsugi technique. The golden lines wound their way across the gray box like a bolt of lightning or a river. Not perfect, but whole. I didn't expect Oliver to find me in London. It was an ordinary Wednesday afternoon. I had just finished the last item in that batch. The studio doorbell rang. Luke went to answer it, then froze in his tracks. That voice came from outside, rough and sharp, like it traveled miles and miles to reach here, calling out,
Nora.
I didn't look up. I carried on polishing the surface of the jewelry box with a soft cloth.
I know you don't want to see me, but I had to tell you myself. Camille and Liam, sentenced. 12 years, 8 years. They'll appeal, but the evidence is solid. Won't change.
Congratulations. Like we were so stunned, Tilly my gnat, like we were talking about the weather.
Also, I've taken back the Coat Group. The legal documents are downstairs at your flat. Mr. Luke can sign for them on your behalf.
I stared at him, lost in old memories. Oliver was thinner, hollow eyes, like a shell, but something in them still burning. The same man who begged at my door. You don't owe me this.
I owe you more than this, Nora. I know you won't forgive me, but I had to finish this. Not so you'd come back, so I could sleep at night.
Luke was behind him, hands clenched. I shook my head. Don't.
I said his full name, first time in 6 months.
Oliver. You know what's funny?
He looked at me, like a dying man hoping.
You finally learned to be honest. After you lost everything. I placed the cleaned porcelain into the bridge box. If you had done this 5 years ago, we wouldn't be where we are today.
His shoulders fell, like a tower finally coming down.
I know.
The weekend after Oliver left, I did something. I took that velvet box to the Thames, opened it at dawn, broken jade, glowing in the morning light, like frozen moonlight. Luke stood back.
Want me with you?
No, this is between me and it. I dropped the pieces one by one, into the gray water. No sound, no ripples, like they never existed. The last piece, I held it a long time, the part with the family gresque, where Oliver put it on me. Thank you for protecting me. But I don't need protection anymore. When I let go, something left me. Not pain, not relief, something else, like closing a book, like rain finally stopping. Luke handed me a handkerchief. I didn't cry, but I took it.
Where to?
Back to the studio. 3 more pieces waiting. The fall auction. That Meng blue and white sold for 3 times estimate. A Hong Kong collector, donating them to a museum. Luke asked me at the celebration.
You regret it? If you'd auctioned them, you'd have made a fortune.
I looked at the porcelain pieces bathed in light in the exhibition hall. They were displayed in bulletproof glass cases, with labels bearing the names of the restorers. No, now they belong to everyone, not some private collection. That's what restoration means. Woke up hangover on the studio couch. Something in my pocket. A little pin. Gloriosa Lily, our studio logo. What's this?
Welcome gift.
Standing the Goodle Dock Duck, Leos then heim I can soother Gansdies. Tending the might to dimmerty the rye felice. Outline to mighting half wonder. It was not you today.
Thinking about how hard this journey has been.
Yeah, but it's worth it.
On the distant sea, an antique-style sailboat slowly sails out of the port. That ship we're about to board. The voyage lasts 40 days. We depart from Quanzhou, pass through Guangzhou, Hainan, Singapore, and arrive at the Strait of Malaga. This time, I'm not alone.
I saw an anonymous post on Facebook, and now I feel like my girlfriend.
Are you still writing a sequel?
Not a sequel, a second book, called 1,000 Sails.
Why this title?
Because after 1,000 sails have passed, you're still here.
In Malacca, we visit an elderly restorer in his 70s who specializes in restoring shipwrecked porcelain. He looks at my hands.
You're a restorer too, aren't you?
Yes.
Then we're colleagues.
He gives me a small Hmong blue and white bowl he restored, with a gap at the bottom repaired with kintsugi, the golden crack like a bolt of lightning. On the last night of the voyage, we stand at the bow looking at the starry sky. Luke takes out the first edition of Kinzami with signatures from my teacher, parents.
Left, yours.
I take the pen and write a line, may all that and ancient fang on the Rara.
Thank you for making me a better person.
It's enough that we see ourselves clearly. The ship glides slowly into the harbor. The lights on shore grow clearer. People are waving. My teacher, parents, Lirel, Thens and hold his ad Fang, Iona. They've all come. I take his hand and step onto land. Behind me is the sea. Ahead are countless lights. Those lights are like shattered stars, mended by the Kinshagi of time, lighting our way home.
You're a partner now, as of yesterday.
Why me? There are so many good restorers here.
Because when you couldn't fix yourself, you were still fixing others. Nora, I like you. Not because you need saving, because you never did. Even when you were broken, you put yourself back together.
I held the coffee cup, felt the warmth. I might never love anyone the way I loved him. He smiled. Something in it I couldn't name.
I know. I don't need you to love me like that. Just let me stay. Until you learn to love different.
The sun got bright. I looked at my reflection in the coffee. Blurry. Unfinished. Give me time.
I've got all the time in the world.
Next spring, I got a commission from home, S City Museum, Qing Dynasty silk. The curator was an old friend. This silk was donated by your mother. We think only you should restore it. I showed Luke. He read it, said one thing.
You want to go? I'll go with you.
We flew to Shanghai, then trained to S City. First home in 5 years. The air, familiar and strange. Like opening an old box. Things inside long spoiled, but the wood still had the grain. The museum took care of us. A studio deep in the gardens, window facing a pond. Luke next door. Every morning, soy milk at my door. You bored? No nightlife? Nothing, you know?
I have you.
The silk was harder than porcelain, threads thin as hair, each one holding 200 years. I needed silence to work. Luke sat on the porch, read, looked at the koi sometimes. Third week. The curator came, brought news. Oliver died 3 months ago. I needed silence to work. Luke sat on the porch, read, looked at the koi sometimes.
Liver cancer. By the time it was to signing the Thenaclit Group's documents, saying he wanted to make sure all the assets were transferred back into your name.
My hand stopped. Silk slipped through my fingers. Luke appeared at the door, didn't come in.
Did he leave a message?
Just one. He said, if you ask, give it to her. If not, burn it.
Oliver's handwriting, worse than before, like he used everything to write it. I folded it, put it in the deepest drawer, didn't burn it, didn't treasure it, just another piece of paper.
You okay?
I don't know, just empty, like a chapter that should have ended. Finally turned the last page.
He took my hand. Warm, dry.
Let it be empty. Blank is part of the page too.
Autumn came. The silk was almost done. After the exhibit, Luke wanted to walk Pingjiang Road, the oldest street, stone worn smooth by centuries.
What's next?
Back to London. Work waiting.
And then?
I want to see where the Maritime Silk Road started. Quanzhou? Or Guangzhou?
Luke's eyes lit up, like someone lit a lamp inside. As a person. Or whatever you want me to be.
I looked at him. 6 months. He'd become part of my life, like the studio lamp, like morning coffee. I never asked if this was love. Now I realized I didn't need to know. Okay. But you buy your own ticket, he smiled, bright in the autumn lights. We got on that old-style sailboat in Quanzhou. The captain was a man in his 60s, his bronzed skin etched like an ancient map by sea winds and light. Upon learning I was a restorer, he eagerly showed me every artifact aboard his vessel, all hard-won treasures he had salvaged over decades.
These aren't worth much, but every piece has a story.
He said, Luke at the bow, wind in his hair. I walked over. What are you thinking?
First time I saw you. During class, you actually spent 2 whole hours arguing with the professor all over a single porcelain bowl. Everyone else thought you were simply stubborn, but I felt something different. This girl truly has a passion for it.
Now I've learned that breaking isn't a flaw, it's part of history. Just like these ceramics, just like this ship, and just like the way I've learned to accept you. Imperfect, yet whole. Luke's eyes in the twilight, like the sea, like time, like restored things coming back.
Third night, a storm hit, worst I'd ever seen at sea. The boat tossed, mast creaking like it would break. Captain ordered everyone below. Luke stayed, helped me secure the Antides. He shouted over the wind.
They'll break!
Let them break! You're more important!
This is the first time I've admitted that there is something far more precious than the porcelain I've spent my entire life guarding. Luke froze for a moment, then broke into a smile, one that looked utterly mad beneath the glare of the lightning. In the evening, we sat in the cabin. The storm had passed, and moonlight streamed in through the porthole, painting a silver square upon the floor daw. He asked careful.
What you said today, you mean it?
Which part?
You're more important. That part?
I meant it.
I went on.
But I don't know what it means. I might never give you everything you want. I might fall apart some night. Ignore you all day over a broken piece. Can you take that?
He said,
I can take more than that. I can take 50%, long as it's real. I can take you remembering him, long as you don't want to go back. I can take all the not perfect, Nora, because I never fell in love with perfect.
The cabin quiet, just waves against the hull. Oliver lost everything. Health, money, freedom, before he saw what he felt. Me, I lost everything, then saw how I deserved to be loved. Let's try.
I said,
No promises forever. Just honesty. Luke's eyes wet in the moonlight. He leaned in, kissed my forehead. Soft, like prayer. Like handling something newly unearthed.
Enough.
He said,
For me, this is enough.
40 days at sea. Quanzhou to Guangzhou, Hanoi to Singapore, then Malaya. Every port. I found local restorers, learned their ways. Luke documented, camera and words, saving it all. One night he said,
We should write a book about the restorers of the maritime Silk Road. Not academic, just stories.
What stories?
He looked at me, soft.
Stories about how broken things get put back together. Stories about people.
The book came out later, called Gold Repair, one line on the title page. For everyone who broke and chose to be whole anyway. Back in London, next spring, my mentor flew in from Italy, brought wine, aged years.
You look different.
He studied me.
I asked for him.
Whole?
You've softened. The person you used to be was like a piece of porcelain repaired too perfectly. Now you have cracks, Nora. And those cracks make you warm.
I looked at Leek. My mentor asked.
Him?
Me. But he showed me. Soft doesn't mean break again. 40 days at sea. Quanzhou to Guangzhou, Hanoi to Singapore, then Malaya. Every port. I found local restorers, learned their ways. Luke documented, camera and words, saving it all. One night he said,
We should write a book about the restorers of the maritime Silk Road. Not academic, just stories.
What stories?
He looked at me, soft.
Stories about how broken things get put back together. Stories about people.
The book came out later, called Gold Repair, one line on the title page. For everyone who broke and chose to be whole anyway. Back in London, next spring, my mentor flew in from Italy, brought wine, aged years.
You look different.
He studied me.
I asked for him.
Whole?
You've softened. The person you used to be was like a piece of porcelain repaired too perfectly. Now you have cracks, Nora. And those cracks make you warm.
I looked at Leek. My mentor asked.
Him?
Me. But he showed me. Soft doesn't mean break again.
The days after, quiet. Like those afternoons in the studio. Luke and I worked, traveled, collected stories of things broken and put back.
Sometimes I thought of Oliver. Not missed, just thought of. Like a scar long healed. It aches a little when it rains, but doesn't hurt. Camille and Liam in prison, never visited, nothing to see.
My mentor's hair, all white now, still in the studio, said he'd never leave the old things.
One day, Luke and I by the window, watching the Thames flow.
If you could do it over, would you go back?
I thought a long time.
Yes, because breaking taught me how to be put together. Without it, I wouldn't be me. Without it, I wouldn't be here, with you, watching this river. He looked surprised. He smiled, said nothing, just took my hand. Outside the window, the River Thames still flows. Its slate blue waters lie like an unpolished gem. Some things break, some things remain, and only what's left can ever truly heal. Spring arrives late and reservedly in London. I trim a Glorica lily by the studio window, the scissors clicking crisp.
The final payment for the Sotheby's porcelain has arrived, 20% more than you expected.
Did the buyer pay a premium?
The buyer said it's respect for the restorer. The buyer is Chinese.
My scissors hang in midair. Luke slides the account book to me, on which is written a name, Charles. I put down the scissors and trace the 3 letters, Charles. The name feels familiar, as if sealed away for a long time.
Nora, your uncle is here.
Uncle? My father's own brother, who vanished after my parents passed away. I have never met him, and he didn't show up at their funeral. Charles is about 50, dressed in a well-tailored dark navy suit, with slightly graying temples, and bears some resemblance to my father.
You look just like your mother.
What can I do for you? He pulls a yellowed photo from his pocket and lays it on the workbench. In the photo, 2 young men stand in front of an antique shop. One is my father, the other is a young Charles.
Your father left you more than just antiques.
Charles says my father had a secret overseas account holding records of a patch of cultural relics. These national treasures were lost overseas, and my father spent most of his life tracking them down.
He planned to tell you after you took over the company, but they had the accident before he could.
Why are you telling me this?
Charles falls silent for a moment. Outside the window, the Thames glints like broken gold.
Because all these years, I've been chasing these things for your family. Nora, you can take your time to think about this.
No need. I want to know everything. As soon as I finish speaking, Charles's phone rings. He glances at the screen, and his face changes drastically.
They found out. Nora, your father's disappearance was not an accident. Your father's disappearance was not an accident.
These words hit my chest like a heavy hammer. Luke hurries to my side.
Charles hangs up and pulls a yellowed envelope from his inner pocket with 4 handwritten words, "For Nora only."
This was mailed to me 3 days before your father's accident.
I open the envelope, which contains a letter and a map. The handwriting is scrabbled and urgent. Charles, I've found where they're hidden, but someone else is looking too. If anything happens to me, give this map to Nora. Tell her not to trust anyone. The rest is blotted out with ink. Including who?
I've tried everything. I can't restore it.
I spread out the map. It marked the coordinates of a sea in Southeast Asia, Malkamia, Singapore, Indonesia. Scrawled along the map's edge was a faint line of words: sunken ships, centuries old, hidden treasure. My teacher leans over, gasping.
Charles, this is what you've been chasing?
These relics sank with Zheng He's fleet, carrying a large number of Ming official killed personalics. Your father spent 20 years tracking them and pinpointed this sea area. But he had the accident before he could announce the news.
So you came to Nora not just to tell her the truth, but to ask her to keep investigating?
It was the only thing your father couldn't let go of before he died. I'm not here to pressure you. I just want you to know someone in this world remembers what your father did.
Where are those relics now? Charles was just about to reply when a frantic knock came at the door. The female assistant pushed in, pale as a sheet.
Charles, someone broke into our Hong Kong warehouse and stole all the documents. The cameras caught nothing, but they left a note.
Only one line is on the note. Nora, stop investigating. Luke. Besides the map, who else knows where the sunken ship is?
Your father told no one. He said he'd take you there himself when the time was right.
Then I'll go see it myself. Making the decision takes only a moment, but preparing for a long voyage takes many days. I lock myself in the studio, studying the map over and over. Luke guards the door for 3 days, bringing food every few hours. My teacher urges me to rest. I say I can't sleep. If my father was telling the truth, the Ming official cured porcelains are in one of the sunken ships. But how did my father find these coordinates? He must have had a partner. I go through all my father's notes and finally find a business card. Hidden in an old diary. South China Sea Marine Archaeology Institute. The number is disconnected. Searching Arthur makes my heart sink. He disappeared 8 years ago during a diving expedition and has never been found. 8 years ago, the exact year my father disappeared.
This isn't a coincidence.
Of course not. Arthur and my father had accidents at the same time. That means someone didn't want them to find those relics back then.
If you keep investigating now, aren't you walking into a trap?
If I stop, all their years of work will be wasted.
Then I'll go with you, but on one condition.
What condition?
Don't carry everything alone anymore. Nora, you can be fragile, at least in front of me. This trip to Malacca, we won't face broken porcelain, we'll face unknown danger. I'm not afraid of you getting hurt, so let me help you.
Silence for Extha Hanola finally dent.
Is this Miss Nora? My name is Frank. I was a close friend of Mr. Arthur. Someone told me you're looking into him. Mr. Chen asked me to keep something for him. He said if a girl Sinep Jiang ever came looking, I should give it to her.
Where are you?
Penang. But Miss Nora, I can only meet you alone. One more person and I won't show up.
Okay, I'll come alone. I have to go.
I can never win against you. I'll wait nearby for 2 hours. If you don't check in, I'll come find you.
Okay. Penang's weather is hot and humid like a steamer. I arrive at Cho Jettery as agreed, a wooden walkway built over the sea, water seeping through the planks. A brass lock hangs under the 3rd pillar at the jetty head. I take it down.
Follow me.
A child runs over and hands me a note. Through the narrow jetty, we reach a remote stilt house. An old man sits in a rickle chair, his hair all white but his eyes unusually bright.
You're the girl Arthur talked about?
I'm Nora. Are you Frank?
This is Mr. Chen's diving log.
The last entry is the day he found the sunken ship.
I turned to the last page. The date is exactly 1 week before my father disappeared. The log reads, "Today I found the sunken wreck near the coordinates." The log ends abruptly. The next few pages are torn out. What was on the torn pages?
Arthur said those contents couldn't stay. He told me to show you only this and to say one thing. There's a hidden compartment at the bottom of that ship. What's inside is what those people really want.
He pulls a photo from the bottom of the box. It's blurry, but I recognize a jade Buddha. A line is carved on the base, made in the Yongle reign of the Great Ming.
My fingers start to tremble. A Yongle Sarah jade Buddha is priceless.
Arthur said this is just one. There are at least a dozen relics of the same grade in the hidden compartment.
I clench the photo. Where are those things now? Frank is about to speak when the door bursts open. 3 masked men rush in. The leader shoves him aside and lunges for the notebook and photo in my hands. I protect them instinctively but get pushed to the ground. At the critical moment, a roar comes from outside. He clearly didn't listen to me. The key turns halfway in the lock, then suddenly stops. Muffled kurmas come from outside, then footsteps fade quickly. Luke and I wait 5 minutes, then carefully crack the door. The hallway is empty. A note hangs on the doorknob.
He even knew about the cabin. They found even this place. We can't stay here. We check out overnight. At dawn, we find a family inn with no surveillance.
Charles arrives in the afternoon with 4 men. One elder man is George. He bows slightly to me.
Miss Nora, Charles has been kind to us. These are some materials from our investigations over the years.
I open the file bag. Inside are photos and reports. Who are these people?
The people who followed your father back then. We've investigated for 8 years and identified an organization. On the surface, an antique collectors association. In reality, they specialize in trafficking lost cultural relics. Your father stood in their way, so they...
This is the mastermind, codenamed Sir. No one knows his real identity, but we suspect he holds extremely high social status in both Hong Kong and Southeast Asia.
I stare at the blurry side-po photo.
I don't know him.
But I catch a flash of hesitation in his eyes. That night, Luke enlarges becomes clearer.
Don't you think this man's jawline looks a bit like someone?
Charles arrives in the afternoon with 4 men. One elder man is George. He bows slightly to me.
Miss Nora, Charles has been kind to us. These are some materials from our investigations over the years.
I open the file bag. Inside are photos and reports. Who are these people? I lean closer to the screen. My heart skips a beat. That outline really does look like someone. Someone I thought I'd never see again in this life. No, impossible. I lie awake all night. At dawn, I'm woken to knocking. George hands me a newspaper.
But the consigner is an anonymous collector.
Which anonymous collector?
Christie's.
The report's porcelain was also canned by an anonymous collector, and that was surnamed Zhang Charles. A chill runs down my spine. The key turns halfway in the lock, then suddenly stops. Muffled kurmas come from outside, then footsteps fade quickly. Luke and I wait 5 minutes, then carefully crack the door. The hallway is empty. A note hangs on the doorknob.
He even knew about the cabin. They found even this place. We can't stay here. We check out overnight. At dawn, we find a family inn with no surveillance.
Charles arrives in the afternoon with 4 men. One elder man is George. He bows slightly to me.
Miss Nora, Charles has been kind to us. These are some materials from our investigations over the years.
I open the file bag. Inside are photos and reports. Who are these people?
The people who followed your father back then. We've investigated for 8 years and identified an organization. On the surface, an antique collectors association. In reality, they specialize in trafficking lost cultural relics. Your father stood in their way, so they...
This is the mastermind, codenamed Sir. No one knows his real identity, but we suspect he holds extremely high social status in both Hong Kong and Southeast Asia.
I stare at the blurry side-po photo.
I don't know him.
But I catch a flash of hesitation in his eyes. That night, Luke enlarges becomes clearer.
Don't you think this man's jawline looks a bit like someone?
Charles arrives in the afternoon with 4 men. One elder man is George. He bows slightly to me.
Miss Nora, Charles has been kind to us. These are some materials from our investigations over the years.
I open the file bag. Inside are photos and reports. Who are these people? I lean closer to the screen. My heart skips a beat. That outline really does look like someone. Someone I thought I'd never see again in this life. No, impossible. I lie awake all night. At dawn, I'm woken to knocking. George hands me a newspaper.
But the consigner is an anonymous collector.
Which anonymous collector?
Christie's.
The report's porcelain was also canned by an anonymous collector, and that was surnamed Zhang Charles. A chill runs down my spine.
Luke thought of that too, he said.
Your uncle?
Not necessarily, but I have to ask him to his face.
Charles is eating breakfast, his expression calm.
You knew?
I only saw it this morning. Nora, you don't suspect me, do you?
You previously asked Nora to restore porcelain as an anonymous collector. Now another anonymous collector is auctioning sunken ship relics. Don't you think it's too much of a coincidence?
I admit, I asked you to restore Portland to test your ability. I wanted to see if you were worthy of taking over your father's cause.
Worthy?
Nora, you don't know what your father was up against. That organization has political and business connections. Your father had an accident because he underestimated them. I don't want you to go down that path too.
Charles's eyes redden.
Then why did you give me the map? Why drag me into this?
Because your father's last call was to me. He said if anything happened to him, I must tell you the truth.
He's about to continue when his phone rings. He glances at the caller ID, and his face pales. The screen shows Christie's. He answers and puts it on speaker.
Charles, we have some new findings regarding the batch of Ming Cortion you consigned for auction.
I can explain.
Fine, explain. Are those porcelainics yours?
Yes and no. I bought them on the black market. Some of the sunken ship's relics were looted. I consigned them to Christie's not for profit, but to draw the snake out of its hole.
Draw who?
That organization. They won't let these relics go. A public auction will make them show themselves.
It's too risky. I can provide security. We have a boat.
Nora, I want to go to the sunken ship's location to see how many relics are still left on the seaford. You're a restorer. Only you can judge their value. Will you come with me? If you can help me, there's no limit to what I can.
Luke objects at once. But I look into Charles's eyes and say, I'll go. But Luke isn't coming. You stay here as backup. If something happens to me, contact the police and the media.
Then I'll wait for you to come back. 1 month. If you don't check in, I'll bring the world's media to find you.
Okay. On the day we depart, Penang is pouring rain. George's boat is a modified fishing vessel, shabby on the outside, equipped with advanced navigation and communication inside.
Get on board.
The waves grow stronger after the boat leaves the port. I sit in the cabin, my stomach churning. Charles brings hot water and sits opposite me. Did you and my father do many things like this back then?
Many. Your father was a madman, unafraid of death. Once we hit a typhoon, the boat almost capsized, and he was still taking notes. I said, "You're crazy." He said, "Some things are more important than life."
Like what?
Like those relics that have lain on the seabed for hundreds of years. He said they hold history, they hold culture. To let them be lost overseas is to be a sinner.
Why did you split up later?
Because of your mother. She thought I was too dangerous, always taking him on high-risk missions. After you were born, your father decided to return home and settle down. And I chose to stay on this path.
A ship is coming toward us ahead.
3 speedboats moving fast.
Who are they?
I don't know, but they don't come in peace. Should we turn around?
Keep going. If they're coming, they'll come sooner or later.
The 3 speedboats close in quickly, forming a fan formation. George orders alert.
Hand over the map.
Who are you?
You don't need to know. Hand it over, and we'll let you go. Otherwise...
The map is with me. Let me speak to your leader.
Miss Nora, I've long heard of you. Your father and I have some old scores. I don't want to carry them over to you. Hand over the map, and you can leave safely.
What if I refuse?
Then you'll stay in this sea forever, just like your father.
I grip the walkie-talkie, my palms sweaty. Luke's face flashes in my mind. He said he'd wait for me for a month. I won't die here. I can give you the map, but on one condition. I want to know exactly what happened to my father. Did you do it?
Your father was a smart man, but too stubborn. He found our sunken ship. We gave him a chance to back out. He wouldn't listen.
So you...
He didn't die at our hands. He just disappeared. No one ever found his body. Maybe he's still alive, maybe not.
What? My father might still be alive?
I said he disappeared, believe it or not. Now, the map.
Are you crazy? That's the only clue your father left you.
It's better than all of us sinking to the bottom. The map is here. Send someone to get it. A speedboat approaches. A masked man jumps onto the deck. I deliberately slip my hand, and the sealed bag falls into the sea. The masked man lunges to the side to grab it, and George subdues him from behind. Roars come over the walkie-talkie. But just then, searchlights suddenly light up the distant sea. A white patrol boat speeds over, flying the flag of Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Authority.
It's the Marine Police!
The speedboats scatter and flee. The Marine Police board to inspect, and we hand over the masked man. The storm calms temporarily. But I know this is only the beginning. Those people are determined to get the map, and they've just told me shocking news. My father might still be alive. The boat continues toward the sunken ship's coordinates. I stand at the bow, looking at the sea after the rainstorm, a rainbow spanning the sky in the distance. Father, if you're still alive, where are you?
The boat sails for 2 days and 1 night, finally reaching the coordinates marked on the map on the 3rd morning. The sea is calm. The technician scans the seabed with sonar. An object about 30 meters long and 8 meters wide appears on the screen. A sunken ship.
We found it.
I'm going in. I'll go. I'm the restorer.
George checks my gear.
Stay behind me. Don't go more than 2 meters away.
I put on my breathing apparatus and flip into the water. The seawater is icy cold, visibility low.
Amid churning sand, I see the sunken ship. The hull is half buried in sand with a broken dragon head carving on the bow. I swim into the cabin. My flashlight sweeps the walls. Most of the porcelain on the wooden shelves is gone, only fragments left. Someone has been here.
I find the hidden compartment at the bottom of the ship and pry open the planks. It's empty inside, but my flashlight catches a waterproof bag in the corner. I reach out and pull it out. Open it. Inside is a notebook. The cover reads, Charles's diary. Charles's diary? My uncle's?
George packs my shoulder, signaling it's time to surface. I tuck the notebook into the waterproof bag and follow him up. Back on the boat, I take off breathing apparatus and gasp for air. Charles hands me a towel. I take it but don't wipe. Why is your diary in the hidden compartment of that sunken ship? Charles freezes.
What are you talking about?
I hand him the notebook. He opens it, his face turning pale.
This isn't my handwriting.
I examine it closely. The handwriting is delicate and neat like a woman's. I keep turning pages. One section is blurred by water, only a few words legible. My name. My heart races.
I turn to a complete entry. Today I found an iron box in the hidden compartment. Inside are more than a dozen jade artifacts, all Yongle-era imperial pieces.
Richard said if these are made public, they'll shock the entire arlogical world. But he can't make them public, because someone is following us. Richard is my father. Who wrote this? Who could dive with my father?
I recognize this handwriting.
Who is it?
Your mother.
The air freezes. My mother...
Your mother studied archaeology in university. She met your father during an internship. Your father's knowledge of culture was actually taught by her.
But she died when I was 12 of a heart attack.
She was a brilliant woman. That's what the official report says. But your father never believed it. He thought your mother's death was related to that organization.
I sit on the deck, my legs weak. My mother was doing something dangerous too? She was also a target of that organization? My phone vibrates. I open the message. Luke says. I text him back. I stare at the message. Dragon Court? That name was mentioned in my mother's diary. Why would they cut off their own income unless they have a bigger goal? The boat is heading back. I stand at the stern, watch a sunken ship's location.
My phone rings again.
Miss Nora, this is Frank. Someone came to see me after you left, asking about your parents. They said if you still want to see your parents, stop investigating.
My parents? They're still alive?
The line is silent for a long time, then hangs up.
It's late at night when we return to Penang. Luke waits for me at the pier. Seeing me safe, he sighs in relief, but when he sees my expression, he tenses at once.
What's wrong?
I tell him what happened on the boat, my mother's diary, the looted sunken ship. He silence for a long time.
What do you plan to do about your mother?
What do you plan to do about your mother?
Are there clues in the diary?
What opened them up? There's veil the unknown place about the old place. The old place. I was little. My parents often took me to my grandpa the Lout house, in a Jiaosu de Sauten. The old house has a basement my father never let me enter. After my mother died, my father never took me again. Could it be there? I decide to go back. But before going to Jiangsu, I need to handle the auction house matter. The next day, Luke and I fly to Hong Kong. The Christie's director refuses to reveal the consignor's information. I take out a copy of my mother's diary was forged from a South China Sea sunk ship. It belongs to China's cultural heritage.
I need to discuss this with the legal department.
He's stalling for time. We're from the Commercial Crime Bureau of the Hong Kong Police Force.
Miss Nora, someone has reported you for suspected involvement in illegal cultural reliquaries trading. Please cooperate with the investigation.
This is a frame-up.
Freeze. I pat his hand and say to the officer, okay, I'll go with you. Inside the interrogation room, they asked me many questions about my work, my father, and that shipwreck. I answered each one, concealing nothing. By the time I walked out the door, it was already late. Luke was waiting for me at the entrance, his eyes bloodshot. He said not a word, but simply held me in a tight embrace.
I thought you wouldn't get out.
I'll be fine.
But they're investigating you, Nora. Someone wants to put you in prison.
Luke, I'm so tired.
I know, but we can't stop. If you stop, those people win.
I found out who reported you. William, Oliver's former lawyer.
Oliver, the man who died almost a year ago?
I arranged to meet William. He's a man in his 60s, wearing gold-rimmed glasses.
Mr. Oliver entrusted all his legal affairs to me before he died. He left a will for you, a U.S. drive.
Nora, if you're seeing this video, I'm organization. Someone saw him a small island. He isn't dead. He just can't come back. Your mother isn't dead either. They're alive, but in hiding.
The last place they appeared was Sumatra. If you go looking for them, be very careful. That organization won't spare anyone who finds your father.
I'm sorry, Ashi, but I really love you.
I turned off the video and slumped into my chair. Luke says nothing, just places a glass of water next to my hand. I want to cry, but can't. I want to laugh, but can't. My parents are alive. They abandoned me. No, they did it to protect me. 18 years. I thought I was an orphan. I wasn't.
You're going to Sumatra?
Yes.
I'm going with you.
Aren't you afraid of danger?
I am, but I'm more afraid of you going alone.
Tears finally fall, not from being moved, but because finally someone isn't using me or protecting me from the truth. They just want to be with me. Okay, together. Before going to Sumatra, I decide to go back to the old house in Jiangsu. The town has changed a lot, but the old house remains, standing alone on the edge of town. I unlock the door with a key. Dust billows out. The basement entrance is in the kitchen corner, blocked by an old cabinet. Luke helps me move the cabinet. The iron door's lock is rusted. We opened the door and made our way down the stairs. The basement was filled with old things. Inside a metal box, I found something not jade, but a stack of letters. The envelope was addressed to Nora in my mother's handwriting. I opened the first one. Dear Nora, when you see this letter, Mom and Dad should no longer be by your side. Don't be sad. We left by choice. Not because we don't want you, but because we can't. A group of very bad people are looking for us. So we have to pretend to disappear and go to a faraway place.
The letter is long, telling how your parents discovered the organization's crimes, how they were pursued, and how they planned this disappearance.
The last page reads, we hid a batch of things in the old house's basement. Not valuable relics. Evidence. If we don't come back, give this evidence to the police. Remember, don't fight them alone. You're no match for them.
Also in the box are folders full of photos, contracts, transfer records, a complete chain of evidence pointing to the organization's illegal smuggling of cultural relics. There's also a photo, a clear front shot of Sir. A name is noted under the photo, Albert.
This name is not unfamiliar to me. He's a famous Hong Kong antique dealer and an old friend of Oliver's mother. Oliver mentioned him many times before his death, calling him a respectable elder. But now I know he's likely the core figure of that organization, the one who forced my parents to disappear. I was going through the contents of the chest, and at the bottom I found a map tucked inside a book. It was marked with 3 coordinates, one for the sunken wreck and the other 2 somewhere on Sumatra.
I'm guessing these 2 coordinates should be your parents' hiding places.
We're about to leave when a car sound comes from outside. Through the crack, 2 men in black suits are getting out. They're from that organization. Luke pulls me back into the basement, closes the iron door, and props it with the cabinet. He takes out his phone and calls the police. Footsteps come from upstairs, getting closer. The cabinet is pushed aside, the iron door kicked open, and flashlight beams shine in. 2 men in black tactical gear stand on the steps.
Miss Nora, please come with us. Mr. Wen wants to see you.
What if I don't go?
Then we'll have to make you go.
Luke stands in front of me. I'll go with you. He stays.
No, he comes too.
I'm about to speak when sirens suddenly wail outside. The 2 men in black exchange their gone when the police rush in. The local police take statements. I don't tell the whole truth. It's dawn when we leave the police station. I stand on a small bridge, looking at the river in the morning light, suddenly feeling powerless.
Nora, are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm just wondering if I should keep going.
You can quit. No one will blame you.
But I'll blame myself. My parents have been in hiding for 18 years, and Albert is still at large.
I organize the evidence found in the old house into a complete file and send copies to Interpol, the National Cultural Heritage Administration, and multiple media outlets. I also contact the police, requesting a reinvestigation into my parents' disappearance.
Luke uses his connections to contact an investigative journalist, Ione. She's in her early 30s, short-haired, sharp-eyed. If the evidence you gave me is true, it'll be the biggest cultural relic smuggling case of century. But do you know who's backing this organization? Albert. It's not just him. The backer is far more powerful than he is. That's why no one has been able to touch them for all these years. Then what can we do? Create public opinion. Release the evidence to the media in batches. When public pressure is high enough, the government will have to act. I hesitate. Doing this might put my parents in danger. I can't guarantee your parents' safety. But if you do nothing, they'll have to hide for the rest of their lives. I recall the words in my mother's letter. They chose to disappear to protect me and to keep fighting. If I helped them finish what they started, they'd be proud. Okay. Pleasure working with you. We board the plane to Sumatra.
Sumatra, Pekanbaru. My parents are hiding deep in the jungle north of this city. Luke and I hire a local guide, Henry, when he hears we're going deep into the jungle.
No one lives there. It's dangerous. Tigers, snakes, and bad people.
What bad people?
Thieves and robbers. They have big ships and ship things from the sea.
Ship what?
Antiques.
Henry drives us into the jungle in an old pickup truck. The road narrows us until it becomes a muddy path. We get out and walk. After about 3 hours, Henry suddenly stops and puts a finger to his...
We hide in the bushes and look through the branches.
People.
2 off-road vehicles are parked in a clearing ahead, with 5 or 6 men patrolling. Behind the clearing is a row of simple wooden houses.
It's them.
My heart races. Could my parents be inside those wooden houses?
We can't rush in. We're too few.
We pull back to a safe distance. Henry leads us along a small path deeper into the jungle. We camp by a stream after dark. I sit by the campfire. Luke hands me compressed biscuits, but I have no appetite. If they're there, how do we save them?
First confirm their location, then go out and call the police.
Interpol has procedures. It'll take at least several weeks.
Then we wait a few weeks.
I can't wait. I've been looking for them for 18 years. They're right in front of me now.
If you rush in and get hurt, your parents will suffer more. We've come this far. A few more days won't matter.
Early the next morning, we scout with a drone. People are indeed locked inside the wooden houses, but we can't see who they are. Just as we're about to pull back, a figure stepping out of one house makes my heart nearly stop. It's a woman with white hair and a hunched back. 18 years have passed, but I recognize her. It's my mother. I almost run out. Luke holds me tight and presses me down in the bushes. Tears blur my vision. Mother is less than 200 meters away, but between us are patrolling men and countless unknowings. I use the drone to record the entire area lookout, then retreat.
I'll find a way. Don't do anything reckless.
3 days later, Charles arrives with George and an Interpol agent, Agent Fang.
We've been watching this outpost for 2 years. It's the organization's main transit station in Indonesia, but we've never had enough evidence to apply for a raid warrant.
We have it now.
If this material is authentic, I'll contact headquarters immediately.
2 days later, Interpol approves a joint operation. Indonesian police, Interpol, and Charles's team raid the outpost simultaneously.
Let her go. They're her parents.
We arrive outside the outpost at dawn. The operation begins. Sirens and shouts mix. Through binoculars, I see people scattering from the wooden houses. A woman crouches on the ground with her head in her hands. It's Mother.
Outpost secured. Hostages are safe.
Hostages?
Your parents were under house arrest here. They weren't living freely. The organization found them and locked them here to force them to reveal where they hid the relics.
I run desperately toward the clearing. Police set up a cordade, but no one stops me. I push through the crowd and see Mother. She's painfully thin, her hair completely white, her eyes staring blankly ahead.
Nora? Mom, you've grown so much.
Dad.
Nora, Dad is sorry.
I shake my head. 18 years. The three of us are finally reunited at this jungle outpost.
After my parents are rescued, we first go to Jakarta. The medical team examines them. Mother is weak, and Father's leg is permanently disabled. Both have old and new scars on their bodies. In the hospital ward, I hear their story over all these years.
We had to disappear back then. The organization had found out we were investigating them. If we hadn't disappeared, they would have found you and used you to threaten us. We changed our names and hid in a small village in Sumatra. 5 years ago, they finally found us and locked us in that outpost, forcing us to tell where we hid the relics. We wouldn't speak, so
We hid those relics in a place even they can't find.
Why didn't you give them to the police?
We tried. The news leaked. They arrived before the police. From then on, we knew we couldn't trust anyone.
Then do you trust me?
You're the only one we trust.
He gives me a set of coordinates. A month later, my parents' conditions improve, and we set off for that location, a cave inland in Sumatra, its entrance hidden behind a waterfall. On the rock wall deep inside the cave, more than 10 waterproof boxes are stacked. Opening the boxes, we find perfectly preserved jade, porcelain, and gold imperial treasures from the Yongle era.
87 pieces in total. I rescued them from the sunken ship's hidden compartment. Hid them for 18 years.
Agent Fang contacts China's National Cultural Heritage Administration. An expert team comes to Indonesia to register and approves them.
These are national treasures. Thank you for bringing them home.
Parents decide to return together to the old house in Jiangsu to spend their remaining years at the airport.
Nora, will you come back with us? I still have things to do. I'll come back when I'm done.
Where to next?
Hong Kong. To find Albert.
Upon my return to Hong Kong, I compiled my parents' evidence into a comprehensive dossier to the Independent Commission Against Corruption and several media outlets.
I arranged a meeting with Albert, with the Tea painting on the wall.
Nora, I've always admired you.
I came to Niue. Did you do all this?
What do you think I did?
Smuggler relics, and he being involved in harming yours.
They were looted. Migra all did was buy them back and resell them. It's just business.
But you didn't go through legal channels.
How many of the artifacts in those museums were acquired legally? Just because they stole them doesn't mean they can keep them, but it's unreasonable for me to buy them? Ms. Nora, don't you think that's a huge double standard?
What you say might make sense, but how many families have you torn apart?
I didn't. The organization was a whole, and I was just one limb goods, but other things were done by other people.
Who?
You'll find out, but not now. You didn't come here today to hear my explanation. You came to declare war.
I came to tell you your organization will soon be dismantled. The files have already been sent. Albert turns to look at me.
Then let it fall apart. I'm tired too.
I leave his office. Being honest. People around me? Who? That anonymous text keeps me up all night. People around me? Charles, George, or Luke? Impossible. Luke has always been with me, saved me, never wronged me. But that text forces me to re-examine every detail.
The next day, I meet Ione alone. After hearing my doubts, Ione says,
the person around you isn't necessarily him. It could be Charles, or your assistant Laurel. She knows a lot about your uncle. She was there every time information leaked.
I think back being followed at the Penang Hotel, the attack on the old house, the location where my parents were held. Laurel heard about all of them during calls.
Ione helps me check Literel's background. The report shows her father was once Albert's partner, arrested for smuggling years ago and died accidentally in prison. She was adopted by Albert and later joined Charles's company. She's a spy Albert planted next to your uncle, but she might not truly work for him. Albert is suspected in her father's death. Maybe she's undercover looking for I decide to test her. The next day, I invite Charles and Liran to dinner and deliberately say, my parent those relics is an Imperial Dragon Button Jade seal, priceless. Lire's spoon paused for an instant. After dinner, I follow her and see her making a call in a quiet alley. The number is near Albert's office building. Of Albert's people. I'm not to expose you. I just want to know, are you really helping him or do you have another motive? Silence Nantan home. I hate him. He killed my father.
My father was Albert's accountant. He knew all the organization's secrets. He wanted to quit, but Albert refused. He tried to report him, but the news leaked. Albert destroyed the evidence early and falsely accused my father instead. My father died accidentally in prison. I know Albert did it, but I have no proof.
So you went undercover next to him? I joined Charles's company because Charles is his business partner and can access his operations. I wanted to find evidence, but Albert is too careful.
Albert told you to follow me?
He told me to monitor your every move and help him find that Imperial Dragon Button Jade seal.
Do you trust him?
No, but I need to get close to him to find his flaws. Miss Nora, I never did anything to hurt you. I was forced to follow you. If what you say is true, I need you to help me. Be a double agent. Keep spying on me on the surface, but secretly tell me his movements. She hesitates. If Albert finds out I'm betraying him, if he finds out you're doing nothing, he'll think you're useless too. Only by making him think you're important will you have a chance to live. From that day on, Liral and I become secret allies. Minchfer Leon's article inactates public opinion. Albert's company stock plummets. He is banned from leaving the track, and he is questioned by the ICAC do tense. Then he still hasn't volley. Anyway, behind it a rim mayout shown up. Albert is running. He booked a private jet for early tomorrow morning. Before leaving, he's meeting someone on a yacht. That person is the real leader of the organization.
Who?
I stare at the photo, trembling all over. The person in the photo is a face I know all too well, Luke. He stands next to Albert, wearing a black suit, his expression cold. My hands shake so much I can barely hold the phone. Luke is part of that organization? Impossible. He saved me countless times, blocked a knife from hotel, accompanied me to find my parents in the Sumatra jungle. But I also recall details. He always appears by side the first ovation. Is it coincidence or arranged? I decide not to confront him yet, but investigate secretly. While he's not looking, I go through his bag. Inside is an encrypted phone I've never seen before. I don't touch it and put it back.
That night, I call Luke to the hotel rooftop. Victoria Harbor glows brightly under the night sky.
Luke, I need to ask you something. What's your relationship with Albert?
His face changes. Not panic, but a complicated look mixed with pain and relief.
Albert is my mother's cousin. After my mother died, he sponsored my education and got me into the restoration business. At first, I helped him appraise antiques. Later, I found out they were smuggled. I argued with him and said I quit. He said if I quit, he'd give the evidence to the police and accuse me of smuggling.
He threatened you?
Yes, but after meeting you, I didn't want to work for him anymore. I thought about leaving, but I was afraid he'd hurt you if I did.
He told you to get close to me?
He told me to find out where your parents hid the relics from you. I did as I was told, but I never told him the key clues.
Then why did you save me?
Nora, my feelings for you are real. Loving you while betraying your trust.
He cries. It's the first time I've seen him cry.
You know what I hate most? It's not betrayal. It's deception. Oliver lied to me for 5 years. You said you didn't lie to me.
I didn't lie to you. I just didn't tell you the whole truth.
It's the same. Meteor lie on you like your existence is a time bomb.
Nora, I won't work for him anymore. I can be your witness and help you testify against him. You can also hand me over to the police. It's up to you what to do with me.
I don't need you to testify against him. I just need you to leave. Leave me, leave London, leave all this. Go back to where you came from and start over. Let's pretend we never met. This is the greatest mercy I can give you.
Nora.
Go. I walk down the rooftop without looking back. A suppressed cry comes from behind me. Back in the room, I close the door and slide down to the floor. Tears still fall, against my will. Early the next morning, Laribel tells me Luke has checked out and taken the early flight back to London. Before leaving, he sent her a message. Protect Nea. I stare at that message, mixed feelings in my heart. Over the next few days, Lirel, Iona, Agent Fang, and I form a temporary alliance. Lirel continues undercover and steals Albert's escape route. Depart by yacht, transfer to another ship on the high seas, and sneak to South America. He plans to act next Friday night, Lirel says. Agent Fang contacts police from multiple countries for a joint operation codenamed Clean Sea. I call Luke. The call connects. A long silence. His voice is tired and hearty.
Nora.
I need you to help me. Albert is running. Help me confirm his exact departure time and route.
You want me to betray him?
You already decided not to work for him anymore, didn't you? This isn't betrayal, it's atonement.
Okay.
Friday night, Agent Fang and I monitor Albert's yacht from a Marine Police command boat. At 1 a.m., Luke sends the confirmed route. At 2:15 a.m., the yacht enters the edge of Hong Kong waters. Move in.
3 Marine Police speedboats closing. Searchlights blaze down on the yacht. The yacht tries to speed up, but is forced to stop. Agent Fang leads a team aboard. 10 minutes later, the radio crackles.
Secured. Albert is under arrest.
I let out a long breath. Agent Fang says,
Albert wants to see you.
On the yacht deck, Albert sits in the cabin, hands cuffed, expression calm. When he sees me enter, he smiles faintly.
Thank you, Miss Nora.
For what?
For setting me free. I've been running this operation for 30 years. I'm tired.
Who is the real mastermind?
He shakes his head.
There is no mastermind anymore. From today on, it's all over.
He is led away.
My phone rings. It's Luke.
Did it go well?
It did. Albert is under arrest, and you...
I'm free too. Nora, can I come back?
I stare at the distant light for a long time.
Give me some time. The news of Albert's arrest shocks the world. Interpol announces the seizure of more than 3,000 cultural relics, with a total value of over $3 billion US. It's the largest cultural relic smuggling case ever solved.
My parents call from Jiangsu. Mother cries for a long time. Father's voice chokes.
Nora, Dad is proud of you.
Charles comes from Hong Kong, stands before me, and bows solemnly.
I'm sorry I lied to you before.
I understand you did it to protect me.
I help him up.
Where is Luke?
I don't know. After returning to London, I lock myself in the studio. My teacher comes to see me and sighs. After returning to London, I lock myself in the studio. My teacher comes to see me and sighs.
Are you punishing yourself or those porcelainics?
Teacher, am I being too cruel?
Cruel to who? To Luke or to yourself?
He came to see me and cried.
He said he did wrong, doesn't beg for your forgiveness, just wants to make amends.
How does he want to make amends?
He wants to get back that Imperial Dragon Button Jade Seal.
The Imperial Dragon Button Jade Seal? Who has it?
Before Albert was arrested, he transferred the Jade Seal to someone, Liam.
I immediately call Agent Fang. Agent Fang says Liam behaved well in prison, has been transferred to a low-security prison, and has outdoor work privileges. Albert transferred the Jade Seal through him.
Liam refuses to reveal where the Jade Seal is.
I need to see him.
In the prison visiting room, Liam is much older than a few years ago. His eyes still light up when he sees me.
Nora, you came.
Where is the Imperial Dragon Button Jade Seal?
If you forgive me, I'll tell you.
Do you think you're in a position to negotiate now?
The Jade Seal isn't with me. That person said if you ever came asking, tell you one thing. If you want the Imperial Dragon Button Jade Seal, come to the old place.
The old place?
That's all he said. Nora, I'm sorry.
Your sorry is worthless. The old place. Mother used that word in her diary too. The cave where my parents hid the relics is what they called the old place. I go to find Father. His face changes when he hears that I'm going to work for the enemy.
Only one person besides me and your mother knows about that cave.
Who?
Your uncle, Charles.
The official repatriation ceremony for the recovered treasure was held at the White House Museum in the U.S. As the donor, I was invited up to the stage to give a speech. Standing on that stage, facing the crowd and cameras down below, I suddenly got super nervous.
Luke sits in the front row and nods slightly at me.
This treasure was guarded by my father and mother for 18 long years. Today it's finally coming home. And this is the destined end for every cultural valley once lost overseas.
Thunderous applause. Mother and father sit below. Mother cries, and father's eyes redden.
After the ceremony, the National Cultural Heritage Administration appointed me as a special restoration expert. My parents took me back to our old family house. That night, the three of us had a reunion dinner in the yard.
Nora, does that senior brother of yours have feelings for you?
I glance at Luke helping wash dishes in the kitchen and blush.
Mom and Dad don't object.
Dad asked about you today.
Asked what?
Asked if you have feelings for me.
What did you say?
I said I don't know.
Do you know now?
It's okay. Luke, I forgive you. But I need you to promise me one thing. From now on, no secrets from me, no matter how hard it is to say, you have to tell me.
Okay. I promise.
After returning to London, life seems back on track. Studio orders are booked until next year, and I start remotely participating in projects for the National Cultural Heritage Foundation. Thank you, Miss Nora. You should thank yourself. Alibert's case enters judicial proceedings. Oliver's lawyer, William, voluntarily hands over some relics collected quietly in prison. Inona's article wins an award. My parents settle down in the old house in Jiangsu and occasionally come to London to see me. Everything is getting better. But the British government refuses to return Chinese relics in the British Museum. The National Cultural Heritage Administration asks me to join an international project to promote repatriation through academic cooperation. I agree. The project requires frequent travel between London and Beijing. Luke becomes my most capable assistant. One day, we work late in a Beijing hotel. I fall asleep on the desk. When I wake up, his coat is covering me.
What time is it?
2 a.m. I didn't want you to catch cold.
Luke, you said you'd sailed fan about Restoriators. Did you?
Not yet, because the story isn't over.
Then you can write it now, because those relics are finally coming home, and our story has a new beginning.
Nora, will you marry me?
Are you serious?
Dead serious. I've wanted to marry you since the first day I saw you in restoration class.
Okay. But you owe me a ring.
I bought it secretly in Sumatra and never dared to take it out.
I hold out my hand. The ring fits perfectly. The wedding is held the next spring. In the yard of in Jiangsu, the old house, Mother arranges flowers and guests. Father directs craftsmen to build a flower dance. My teacher flies in from London with a bottle of red wine treasured for 30 years.
Nora, I bought this the year you were born, waiting for your wedding.
Luke doesn't have much family. He grew up almost alone, but you won't be alone anymore. The wedding day was bright and sunny. The venue was covered in fresh flowers. I wore a simple white wedding gown. Luke stood beside the floral arch, his eyes soft and full of love, brimming with joy the moment he laid eyes on me. When exchanging rings, I look into Luke's eyes. I still have many imperfections.
Me too. But together, we can restore each other.
I think of the bracelet Oliver gave me, shattered and sunk into the Thames. Some things, once broken, can never be restored to their original state no matter how you fix them. But some things become more beautiful after cracking, like kintsugi, repairing cracks with gold powder, making the broken part of the object. I think I'm the same. Married life is peaceful and warm. We live upstairs from the London studio. Every morning he gets up first to make coffee, now brings it to the bed to wake me. The government's attitude toward returning cultural relics remains firm. The National Cultural Heritage Foundation asked me to attend an international conference to apply pressure through public opinion. My speech is scheduled the next afternoon. I'm nervous and revise my speech piffy until early morning.
You weren't even afraid of Albits. Why are you afraid of this?
It's different.
Just pretend they're listening to you tell a story. The story of those relics coming home. If you tell it beautifully, they'll help you.
The next afternoon, I stand on the stage. The spotlight is blinding. A dense crowd sits below, camera lenses like a row of black eyes. Hello everyone, I'm Nora, a cultural relic restorer. Today I don't represent any government or organization. I'm here on behalf of those relics that can no longer speak. They are carved with history and memory. Restoration is not just gluing fragments together, it's giving them dignity again. And these stories can only truly be heard in their true hometown. I ask everyone the repatriation of lost cultural relics, not out of hate, respect. Respect for history, respect for culture, respect for every nation ownership of its own cultural heritage. Applause rises, louder and louder.
I have a collection of Chinese porcelain. I've decided to donate them to Chinese museums.
Change happens little by little. I don't expect all relics to come home overnight, but as long as someone pushes, those relics have hope.
In autumn, Luke's book is published. The dedication page reads, "To Nora, after being broken, you became the most beautiful light."
These two are the best restorers I've ever met, not because of their skill, but because they restored each other.
Miss Nora, I've also gone through very painful things and felt broken, but after reading your story, I think it's okay to be broken. You can be fixed. Yes, it's okay to be broken. You can be fixed.
After the book signing, the bookstore closes. We're the only ones left. Luke leans against a bookshelf, looking tired but his eyes bright.
Nora, do you think our story isn't complete?
Not yet. As long as not all relics are home, our story isn't over.
What if they never come home in a lifetime?
Then we'll keep writing for a lifetime. The next spring, The British Museum agrees to negotiate the repatriation of some relics, the first breakthrough in years. The negotiations are held in Beijing. I participate as a member of the expert group. The British side puts forward various conditions, and the Chinese side argues strongly. These relics are slowly dying. If they don't come home soon, they won't last much longer. There's a long silence at the negotiating table. Finally, the British side agrees to return 15 relics first as a pilot.
On the day of the signing ceremony, I stand in the corridor of the Great Hall of the People and look at the blue sky outside.
What are you thinking about?
About my parents. If they were here to sign, they'd be even happier.
They are happy, because you fulfilled their wish for them.
Luke, let's go home. Go to Jiangsu to see Mom and Dad.
Okay.
Assets of the court group are returned to me. I don't restart the business, but transform it into a non-profit organization, the Court Cultural Relics Protection Foundation, supporting the repatriation and restoration of lost cultural relics.
Liral returns from Singapore to serve as executive director. Helping you with this is more meaningful than being a curator.
Albert's case goes to trial, and he is sentenced to life imprisonment. Liam gets an additional 3 years. Oliver's foundation continues to operate.
Oliver left something else before his death. I meet him in Hong Kong, an envelope containing a photo.
It's the only photo of Oliver and me together, me sitting in the villa garden with a blank expression. On the back is a line, a she, this photo is my most precious. If you ever stop hating me, burn it. I stand with the photo for a long time. Then I light a lighter. The flame devours Oliver's face and the message. I don't know if I still hate him. Maybe not anymore. Maybe I just don't want to think about it. Ash drifts in the wind. Stepping out of the office building, the sunlight was blinding. Luke was waiting for me downstairs.
Is it settled?
It's settled. Then where do we go?
To the starting point of the Maritime Silk Trude. You promised to go with me.
Now?
Now.
London, 15 years later. Nora's studio has moved into a larger space. The walls are lined with porcelain pieces she has restored, each glowing softly under the lights. On the windowsill, her Gloriosa lily has multiplied, filling the pan with bright orange petals that look like butterflies ready to take flight. Mia, 22, has just graduated from the UCL Institute of Archaeology. Standing by the window, coffee in one hand and phone in the other, she's lit by morning light that sharpens her profile. She has her mother's craft and her father's sharp eye, but she's bolder. Her thesis, Paths to Repatriation of Chinese Antiquities at the British Museum. Her supervisor called it too sensitive. Truth doesn't shy away from sensitivity, she said. Truth is not afraid of sensitivity. She forwarded the email to them.
Mom, Dad, I got the offer.
Luke looked up from his computer, took off his glasses, and rubbed his temples.
ICC? Antiquities Crimes Unit?
Not as a cop, as an antiquities consultant. They need someone who knows both restoration and archaeology.
This is from them?
Mia held up her phone. The screen showed an official letter, its embossed gold seal glinting in the sun. Nora set down her blue and white porcelain shard and looked into her daughter's eyes. They held her own youthful stubbornness and Luke's quiet resolve. After a short silence, the shard cool in her palm.
You sure about this path? It's dangerous.
You and Dad walked it too. And you made it through. I want to bring more antiquities home. You fixed so many. I'm going to get them back for real. Luke and Nora exchanged the look. They knew they couldn't stop her. Luke stood, pulled a small leather case from a drawer, and opened it. Inside were a tiny restoration set and a tattered notebook. Its leather cover was faded and frayed at the edges, like a well-worn scripture.
These were your mom's first tools. Scalpels, tweezers, a small hammer. All here. And my investigation notes. Names, places, things that might help.
Mia took them, her fingertips brushing edges smoothed by time, and her eyes stung. The next day, Mia flew to The Hague. Nora stood at the window, watching the taxi vanish around the corner. Luke wrapped his arms around her from behind, his chin resting in the crook of her shoulder.
She's just like you.
Like me how?
Like the you I first saw. Stubborn, unyielding. Once she sets her mind to something, she doesn't turn back. And always worrying people.
Nora leaned against him, silent. Outside, a plane streaked across the sky, leaving a thin white trail that slowly faded.
The Having. The IECC Antiquities Crimes Unit occupies a gray unmarked building on a quiet streets, like a sentinel. The hallways was lined with photos of recovered antiquities, black and white, color, like a silent museum, each piece telling its own story. Chief Valentin, a German in his 50s, was once an Interpol antiquities crime specialist. His office has a world map dotted with red pushpins. He flipped through Mia's resume, his gaze lingering on the line, daughter of Nora.
Restoration family, parents are well known. But you know here, the daughter of a name gets no special treatment.
I don't want special treatment. I want a chance.
Yale's voice was calm and steady, like stone washed clean by water.
Dutch Customs seized a shipment of Chinese porcelain last month. Declared as modern replicas, but experts confirm they're genuine. The only red flag, the restoration is masterful, traditional Chinese kintsugi. We think the smuggling ring has a top-tier restorer inside.
Mia opened the file. Her chest tightened at the shard photos. The kintsugi lines were delicate, fluid. The curve and gold density exactly how her mother had taught her. Even the slight pause at the end of each stroke. She held back her emotions, her fingertips brushing the photo's edge. Can I see the actual pieces?
Yes, but be careful. We've been on this case 6 months. The network behind it is likely a branch of the one from 15 years ago.
15 years ago. As she left the chief's office, a young man stood at the end of the hall in a dark navy trench coat. He was studying the wall photos. Backlit, his silhouette was like a freshly unsothened blade. He turned, their eyes met. He nodded slightly, then stepped into the next office. Mia noted the name and thought little of it. The Dutch Customs warehouse is climate-controlled, lit by harsh white light. The air smells of camphor and old wood, like stepping into a tomb of time. Mia wears a lab coat and gloves. Exazan shards form a Maya's dynasty blue and white lotus plate. Kintsugi lines run from center to rim, like lightning splitting a whole scene, or a river winding across parched earth. She pulled out her magnifying glass and scanned inch by inch. Her mother's voice echoed, every kintsugi line is the restorer's signature. It can't be hiddenly. In a kintsugi line near the edge, she saw a tiny carving, not a crack, but a single carat regret. The mark was faint, as if hidden on purpose, yet meant to be seen. Strong strokes, each one full of grim resolve. Mia, that style, it's someone your father mentioned. A restorer named Camille, who worked for Titan. He went to prison.
Is Camille still inside?
Paraded last year, missing. He never contacted us. Your dad looked for him, no luck. Are there any other shards from this set?
Only these. Custom seized just these dozen. The rest were likely shipped out.
She held up a shard to the light. The kinshimsigi glowed dark gold. The character regret stood like a silent witness. No signature, no mark. Only that one word. What had Camille learned in prison? Why leave this? A cry for help? A confession? A trap?
Camille? I know of him. He was Titan's top restorer. Brilliant, ruthless. No one knows where he went after parole.
Maybe he's alive and still working for them.
Good morning, sir. Or he's trying to reach us. George, on second station from Interpol. I tracked Titan's remaining networks. That regret Camille left could be a distress signal, or his remorse for the past. A restorer's craft is often their conscience.
Mia looked into his eyes and felt a quiet reassurance. Valentine agreed with George, but insisted they locate Camille first. While waiting, Mia was sent to Paris to assist on another case. A batch of bronze artifacts seized at the airport, claimed to be from Afghanistan, but suspected by experts to be looted Chinese antiquities.
Paris, a small antique shop by the Seine. A few porcelain pieces sat dusted in the window. The owner, Evelyn, a French woman in her 60s, specialized with Asian art. She wore a dark green velvet dress and a pair of Chinese jade hoop earrings that chimed softly as she moved.
You're Nora's daughter?
You knew my mother?
20 years ago, she restored a Ming vase I own here in Paris, the most beautiful kintsugi I've ever seen. She told me, every crack is a story. Don't hide it. Listen to it.
Evelyn led Mia to the basement, where an old safe stood in the corner, its paint peeling like an elderly man's skin.
There's something inside you might find interesting.
The safe opened to reveal a faded silk box. Inside was a scroll, a Ming dynasty map, ink and color on silk, edges frayed by moths, gnawed by time. It marked maritime Silk Road routes and shipwreck sites, the script neat and delicate, like a court painter's hand. Along the edge, a line in fresh ink, matching the Regrelt character exactly. Mia, we've been waiting for you a long time.
Who gave this to you?
An elderly Nori married left this 10 months ago. He was very old, walked with a limp, and his shows on Dorspahens as if he had burned. They give him a war, show your revenue neng news into Cantobio gave her day, and tell that they owed rights, few chout.
Did he say anything else?
No. He left, vanished into the crowd. I never even knew his name.
Mia immediately photographed and sent it to George. He replied quickly, confirmed Camille. He was in Paris 3 months ago, then disappeared. I'm pulling security footage.
Mia returned to The Hague with the map. Valentin pulled Paris security footage. Camille had been near the shop, but he seemed to know where the cameras were, keeping his head down, face hidden by his hat brink. He vanished after leaving, as if dissolved into thin air. The map marked 7 shipwreck coordinates: South China Sea, Indian Ocean, Mediterranean, 7 scattered pearls. Mia made a copy and locked the original in Interpol's climate-controlled evidence vault.
Mom,
Camille is reaching out to me. He left a Ming map with shipwreck sites. It might tie to Titan's hidden stashes he never revealed.
She called her mother, voice low, as if afraid of being overheard.
A long silence on the line. She heard her mother set down her tools, porcelain clicking softly on wood. Mia, this is getting
Too tangled. Come home. We'll talk in person. Some things can't be said over the phone. Okay?
Mia flew back to London. In the studio, Nora unrolled a larger nautical chart, marked with dozens of red pins, dense as a star map.
Your father and I tracked these wrecks 15 years ago. Camille was with Titan then. He knew more than we did. Him reaching out after prison could be atonement, could be a trap. Either way, it's too dangerous for you to meet him alone.
Luke walked in, holding an old envelope. No name, only a printed address.
Sent from the hammock, signed Camille. I had the postmark checked. Rotterdam.
Mia opened it, a rusted key and a note. The handwriting was shaky, carved into the paper as if by someone who hadn't written in years. Rotterdam, Port Warehouse Number 7. Some things belong home. No police. The key was heavy, reeking of rust. Mia closed her hand around it, feeling the cold metal.
Why no police?
Maybe he doesn't trust the police, or what's in that warehouse can't survive official process. Mia, are you going? I'm going. But I'm taking George. Who's George?
Interpol. I trust him.
Nora and Luke exchanged a look, then nodded.
Rotterdam Port Warehouse No. 7 was an abandoned shipping container, rusted through, its 10-year-old seal cracked and dry. Salt wind stung the skin. Mia and Valentine decided not to alert local police, bringing only George and one Dutch customs officer. The four stood before the container, like four about to open Pandora's box. The iron lock was sawn through with a low, mournful metal groan. When the door swung open, mildew hit them, rust, old paper, flashlight beams swept inside, dozens of wooden crates stacked neatly.
Perfect condition. This one would fetch at least 5 million euros at auction.
At the bottom of a crate lay a dust-covered metal file box. Mia opened it, a ledger as thick as a dictionary. But Mia cared more. Where was Camille? She flipped to the last page, a line in the same shaky handwriting. I'll wait for you at the place you started. Miss He, bring the map.
The place you started? Paris? London? Something earlier?
George stood, brushing dust off his knees. Mia thought, then said, Camille trained in Jingzhou when he was young. The porcelain capital. That's his real start. Grandfather said his master was close to him.
Too dangerous for you alone. George goes with you.
It's too dangerous. Who is Camille? He worked for Titan for decades. His hands aren't clean. You go alone if it's a trap.
Dad, if he wanted to hurt me, he wouldn't have left the map and ledger. Those would put him back in prison for 10 years. He's making amends. He just needs someone to witness it. I'll go with you. No. Mom, he asked for me. If you come, he might not show. Nora and Luke exchanged a look. Luke sighed, pulled an old notebook from the shelf. The cover read, *, investigation notes, Titan case, *, paper yellowed, edges frayed.
This is what your mom and I kept when we hunted Titan. It has Owen's details and Camille's habits, his tea, cigarettes, how he walks. Might help.
Send your location every 2 hours.
Remember, safety first.
The next day, Mia and George flew to Shanghai, then took high-speed rail to Jingdezhou. Fields and white-walled, black-tattled villagers of the Jiangnan water towns slipped past the window as the train rode into dusk. Jingdezhen's old district still holds ancient kiln ruins. Slate streets polished smooth by time, black as mirrors. Shop windows brim with porcelain-coursed earthenware, defined blue and white. The air smells of clay and kiln smoke, unchanged for centuries, as if time stood still here. Mia followed Camille's address to a narrow alley. Tall firewalls rose on both sides, only a sliver of sky above like a split crack. At the end, a faded wooden door, pasted with worn Spring Festival couplets. The horizontal banner was still legible. Harmony in the family brings prosperity. The door was unlocked. It creaked open, hinges groaning old. Inside, a small courtyard piled with half-finished porcelain, vases, jars, bowls, plates, glazed or raw, like infants waiting to wake. In the corner, a long-disposed kiln, its mouth overgrown with moss, like a bearded mouth. Jingdezhen's old district still holds ancient kiln ruins. Slate streets polished smooth by time, black as mirrors. Shop windows brim with porcelain-coursed earthenware, defined blue and white. He was thin, shoulders hunched, his dark blue work uniform faded white.
Mr. Song?
The wheelchair turned. Camille looked far older than his photos, face carved with wrinkles, eyes sunken but bright, like lamps flickering in wind. He wore a faded blue work uniform, pinned with an old Jingdezhou porcelain factory badge, its letterage worn away. Mia sat across from him.
You left the map with Evelyn? Mailed the ledger?
He nodded.
Why?
Because I'm dying. Camille rolled up his sleeve, revealing dark purple bruises, like storm clouds.
Camille told everything he knew. His voice was hoarse, like an old radio, cut by coughing fits. Each cough racked his body. He covered his mouth with bony hands, wiped his lips, and kept going. When Titan died, his network didn't collapse. It split into 3 branches, one led by Titan's son Owen, based in Singapore, posing as art investors while running his father's smuggling. One in Europe, hiding behind legitimate antique deals, laundering money, and selling looted goods. The third, inside China, cleaning artifacts through auction houses and private museums.
Your mother and them only took down the tip of the iceberg. The real core still runs. Owen is smarter and crueler than Titan. He never gets his hands dirty, leaves no direct evidence. He has a full legal team and offshore companies. You can't catch him, slippery as an eel.
What about the Meng shipwreck artifacts?
Most are hidden by Owen. I only know the general area. Deep in the Strait of Malacca, a secret reef not on any chart. Strong undercurrents around it. Diving is deadly for anyone ordinary. This is the only map Titan gave me. I hid it on me for over a decade, brought it out when paroled, slept with it under my pillow.
Why didn't you give this to the police earlier?
Give to who? How did your father's tip get leaked back then? Cops on their payroll? I didn't dare. I've seen too many people die for trusting.
And now you do?
Because I'm dying. And because I saw you. You have something in your eyes just like your mother. Something that makes you want to trust. Not naivety, purity.
Where is Owen now?
Singapore. But every year he goes to one place, near Angkor Wat, Cambodia. Might be hiding another statue his father left. Might just be praying. I don't know. I can't read that man.
Mia looked at Camille. No fear on his face, only exhaustion after a long wait finally ended. His hands trembled constantly, like dead leaves in wind. Why did you choose me? Not my mom, not my dad. Me? Camille fell silent for a long time. Wind brushed the half-finished poem in the yard, chiming like wind chimes, like sighs.
Because you're a blank page. Your mother was hurt by hate. Your father is tired. You're different. You haven't been stained by this world yet. I wanted to bet on you. That you'd take a path none of us did. A clean one.
Mia stood, carefully tucked the sonar map into her bag. Then she turned back to Camille. Mr. Song, if you want, I can get you to a doctor. Ninchig the Somancration.
No need.
He smiled, relief and wariness in his face.
I've lived enough. Fixed things my whole life, never fixed myself. But helping you at the end, I fixed one thing at least.
She walked to the gate, glanced back. Camille still sat in his wheelchair, brush in hand, like a statue, like an old tree rooted in the yard. Stepping out of the alley, sunlight made Mia squint. George walked beside her, silent for a long while.
You believe him?
I do. Not because everything he said is true, but because he has no reason to lie. What would a dying man gain from lying to me?
George didn't reply. Mia flew to Singapore. Valentine coordinated support from Interpol Singapore, with clear instructions. Intelligence only. Don't tip Owen off. His face was grave as he said it, like warning a child about to run a red light. Owen's company occupied a high-riser in the financial district. Its glass facade blazed with equatorial sun, blinding. The lobby displayed famous calligraphy and paintings, imported marble floors, a polite, polished, distant receptionist. Mia booked a meeting as an antiquities consultant. She waited 20 minutes before being ushered in. The elevator mirror showed her face. She nodded slightly to herself. She wasn't met by Owen, but a middle-aged woman named Lynn, introducing herself as Owen's special assistant. Around 40, hair pulled tight, sharp, shrimped eyes, like a freshly hewn blade. Mr. Owen is out today, but he reviewed your profile and is interested. He wants to know if you join a new project, salvaging shipwreck antiquities in Southeast Asian waters. Legal salvage? Do you have permits? Of course. All paperwork complete, filed with UNESCO. Mr. Wen wants you to authenticate a private collection first before formal partnership. The collection has sensitive origins, can't be public. If you agree, double your standard fee. It was a test, a trap. Mia took the contract, didn't open it. All right, but I need time to review. and he reached out to me. He probably knows who I am.
Pull back, plan carefully. Don't take risks.
We're going to Cambodia.
Okay.
Sierra Rayek, Angkor Wat. Mia and George stayed as tourists in a small guest house near the old market. The room held a replica Khmer smile stone statue, its smile mysterious and forgiving, as if saying, "It's still not too late." George used the local contacts to reach an archaeologist named Hunter. In his 50s, dark-skinned, French-accented English, former UNESCO staff, retired but restless. He arrived at the guest house on an old motorcycle, a stack of maps tied to the back.
Miss He, the area you mentioned, there was activity there a few months ago. They rented an abandoned farmhouse, trucks coming and going at night. I watched from far away, armed guards, dogs in the yard. Here, about 30 kilometers from the main Angkor site.
Can you take me to see it?
It's dangerous. Those men might have guns. If you insist, I can only drop you off at the perimeter. I don't gamble with my life.
We won't go in. Just look from far away. The farmhouse lay 30 kilometers east of Angkor Wat, at the jungle edge, surrounded by dense rainforest. Only one dirt road led out, like a wand sliced open, a 3-meter wall topped with barbed wire and warning signs, security cameras at the gate, several men in camouflage patrolling. Hunter parked his motorcycle in a clearing a kilometer away. The three walked through brush to a small hill overlooking the farmhouse. Mia used a telephoto lens to film the whole compound. 3 black SUVs, a small helipad, shipping containers stacked by the warehouse. As she filmed, a black sedan pulled out of the farmhouse and headed straight for them. Fast, kicking up dust, like a dirt dragon racing through the trees.
They spotted us.
They turned and ran. Too late, the sedan blocked their path. Doors opened, 3 men stepped out. Leader was bald, tattooed neck, a green dragon coiling from collar to ear.
Stop. Who sent you?
Tourists got lost.
You filmed our place. Come with me.
The farmhouse interior had been converted into a makeshift warehouse and office. Shipping containers stacked in the yard. Mia immediately recognized several Angkor Age stone carvings. A Buddha head, eyes downcast as if weeping. An intricately carved linen. Several broken stone lions, with stone balls in their mouths.
Don't be afraid. They won't hurt us lightly. Our status was sent out.
How do you know?
I sent my location to Valentin before we came in. He should have it.
They waited in silence for over an hour. The door finally opened. A man in his 30s walked in, linen shirt, Patem Philippe on his wrist, dial glinting coldly. He bore a faint resemblance to Titan, but with a darker edge, like a dagger sheathed.
Hi. A pleasure. I'm Owen.
This is how you treat potential partners?
Thieves have been targeting my farmhouse. You know how it is. In our line, caution is everything.
Then I can leave?
Of course, but I have a proposition. You authenticate a batch of antiquities for me, I pay double your commission and guarantee your safety.
If I refuse? Owen smiled. No warmth in it, like a snake flicking its tongue.
You won't refuse. The evidence your mother gathered back then wasn't enough to fully convict my father's men. The truth you want? Only I can give it to you. This deal works in your favor.
Mia was escorted to a guest room. Bed, bathroom, no windows, door locked from outside. Photo of Angkor Wat sunrise hung on the wall, beautiful but fake. Her phone and camera were taken, but Owen let her use a landline to call family. Mom, I met a collector in Cambodia. He asked me to authenticate some antiquities. I'll be a few days late.
Stay safe. Call if you need anything.
Mia knew her mother understood. She was under house arrest. She hung up, sat on the bed, hands folded on her knees, trying to calm down.
George was in the next room. She heard him tapping the wall. 3 short, 3 long, 3 short. Morse code, SOS, meaning I'm here. Over the next few days, Owen sent men to take her to the warehouse to authenticate artifacts. She found a mix of real and fake, crude modern replicas to fool amateurs, genuine looted antiquities from multiple countries, including several Chinese Shangzhou bronzes with archaeological excavation numbers, clearly looted and smuggled. As she worked, she memorized the warehouse layout, guard shift times, blind spots in surveillance. Owen didn't restrict her much, probably thought she had nowhere to run.
When will Mr. Wen be back?
The guard didn't answer. She secretly marked authentication reports in pencil next to artifact numbers. C for genuine Chinese looted, S for suspicious origin. These could be evidence later, if she got out alive. A week later, Valentine negotiated with Owen via Cambodian police, demanding Mia and George's release. Owen agreed on condition that Mia signed a document stating her work in Cambodia was voluntary, no coercion. If I sign, I endure your artifacts. If they hit the market later, it'll say authenticated by Mia. I won't do it.
Owen's smile turned cold, like ice cracking. Miss He, you have your mother's stubbornness, but she paid a price for it.
Are you threatening me?
I'm just reminding you. Here in Cambodia, tourists disappear accidentally every day. The crocodiles in the jungle don't care who you are.
Get out. Life is more important than anything.
Mia looked into Alwyn's eyes, empty, still water. She picked up the pen and signed. The tip scraped the paper, each character slow, carved like stone. The moment she stepped through the farmhouse gate, sunlight blinded her. George walked ahead, glanced back. She didn't turn, but her shoulders trembled slightly. She told herself,
I will settle this score.
Back in Phnom Penh, Mia immediately contacted Valentine. She sent encrypted photos of her coded authentication marks. Valentine took it seriously.
This is valuable, but we need more to close the evidence chain. Courts require a full, unbroken chain.
Owen is hiding masses of looted antiquities and Angkor stone carvings at that farmhouse. If we can get a search warrant...
Cambodian authorities may not cooperate. The farmhouse is owned by a shell company registered in the British Virgin Islands. No direct link to Owen. We need harder proof tying those artifacts to transnational crime.
Thought of Camille. He might know more of Owen's stashes, or insiders willing to testify. She dialed the emergency number Camille left, a Jingdezhong landline. It rang and rang, no answer. She tried 7 or 8 times, only a buzzy signal, like a broken line. I'm going back to Jingdezhou. George looked at her, bowed at her, and nodded. Camille's courtyard gate was locked. An ambulance idled outside, lights rotating slowly. A neighbor said the old man had collapsed at home 3 days earlier, still holding his gilding brush. Taken by ambulance to the City People's Hospital, Mia rushed to the hospital. Camille lay in bed, Sanver, oxygen tube in his nose, hooked to a heart monitor, waves faint and slow. He saw Mia, smiled weakly, lips cracked and peeling.
You found me anyway.
You haven't told me the rest of Owen's stashes. Camille pulled a crumpled paper from under his pillow. Several coordinates, place names, scribbled notes.
These are what I remember, but I don't know if the goods are still there. It's been years. I'm old. My memory lies to me now.
Did Oliver work with Titan? Mia's heart jolted. Oliver, the man who had held her mother captive for 5 years, long turned to ash. But what had he left in Hong Kong? Did Oliver work with Titan?
Yes.
Oliver was Titan's top client, bought many artifacts. But they fell out. Titan threatened him. Before Oliver died, he hid a batch in his own warehouse meant to donate to the state. But he waited too long. Waited until he died.
You're sure it's still there?
Not sure, but worth checking. Owen has been hunting those for years.
Mia held the thin paper, as if it might crumble.
Thank you, Mr. Sang.
Go. Don't end like me, leaving regret till the end.
Camille closed his eyes, voice as soft as breath.